So don't abuse the benefit of medical leave, right? For job interviews. Please don't lie.
Okay.
Don't abuse that mistrust, because people are gonna figure out like how come you always fall sick and you don't really look sick, and if it gets found out, it's really gonna look very bad on you.
Today's question is sent in by Sean. Now, Sean's question is about how to ask or get time off to go and do interviews when you are juggling an existing job. Yeah, I'm sure many people are interested right now. Well, this is especially for interviews where you don't know if you're going to be successful and there are multiple rounds. Yeah. So Sean says taking leave for every interview is not feasible, especially when you have to save some for other users. Is resorting to taking medical leave more recommended or more common in a workplace where leave approvals are not required or can be requested at the last minute? Okay, this is a tricky situation, Sean. Yeah, but how do you go for these multiple interviews without, raising the question with your boss that, hey, this guy's taking a lot of leave, huh?
Should you use medical leave
Yes.
for this? Please don't.
Okay.
Please don't lie.
Okay.
Don't abuse that mistrust, because people are gonna figure out like how come you always fall sick and you don't really look sick, and if it gets found out, it's really gonna look very bad on you.
So trust is going to be an issue.
Yes. So don't abuse the benefit of medical leave, right? For job interviews, definitely so. So with that out of the way, then how do we get
Yeah.
through the multiple rounds of interviews, and if you're not going to use leave?
Yeah.
Actually, this question, right? I feel like most of us we want to know the answer to it, and we somehow have our own way of figuring it out,
Navigating it.
navigating
Okay.
it, right? So there isn't that one fixed answer. Maybe those of us who are listening in, maybe you can also drop in your comments on what you have done.
Tell us what you have done.
Yeah, tell us what you have done as well. So that and the legit good ones, okay, not
Yeah.
the illegal ones, all right. But from what I know, in terms of how can we do that, one thing is during the interview process, it's important for you to ask the recruiter like how many rounds
Okay.
can you expect, right? So sometimes they say 2 to 3 rounds, then you kind of have a sense over the next couple of weeks, if things go according to plan and you get called up for subsequent rounds, then how many days of leave you need to take.
Okay.
You might not want to take full day leaves.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
If you have the option of taking half day, why
Yes,
not,
You
right?
can take half days. You could also ask like some of these interviews, are they online or offline? All right. I know some of the people are going to wonder like, hey, Gerald, but if you are, online, and then
your boss suddenly
Zoom calls you, or rather your working hours, and isn't this like eating into the company policy? You're not being a good employee. You're
Yeah.
taking your time off, right? I mean, this is where the gray area happens, lah. All right. Ideally, the companies will be nice enough. The new company will be nice enough to ask you to maybe come down during lunch hours or after office hours, for an interview, and that's a possibility as well.
Okay.
Right. But
Or during lunch hour, maybe?
lunch hour, after office hour, but I don't know. Personally, if that's an option, you can consider it. But I also will be wondering as a job seeker, right? I'll be wondering whether the person has eaten lunch.
Why should you care whether
Yeah,
the
because
interviewer
a
eats
hungry
lunch?
person interviewing you
It's
may-
not good. It's not going to have make proper assessment because
Yes.
not enough blood sugar
Yes.
to the brain.
Yeah, so usually if it was up to me, right, I would probably say maybe just after lunch hour.
Food coma? No?
I then it's for you to impress the person lah.
Oh, okay,
right?
okay,
To keep the
okay.
person awake during that time.
With my stunning personality.
Exactly. All right. So, or maybe just before lunch, just before that, I think it'll be okay. But if it's like right smack in lunch hour, people might not like it very much, lah. But I do know companies who HR, they're willing, and the supervisors are willing to meet people during lunchtime. It's
Okay.
possible as well. Yeah.
So if it's outside of the lunch hours, you still have to take your half day leave and everything. So you still have to, pace out. I guess what Sean is wondering, he probably has to pace out the leave quota that he has, because he might want to, use that extra all the other days to go and travel with his family, do his own travels, things like that, right?
Yes, correct. So honestly, I don't think it will take a lot of leave days.
Okay.
Right. Unless it's like you're aggressively being sought after lah. But I don't think so. Generally, if you are looking for a job we are job searching while you're still being employed, right? I mean, the leave days is not going to be significantly a lot, honestly speaking. But you do need to manage. If today you are really saving up that leave for other things, then you need to plan a little bit. And what we said earlier, right? Asking for the number of days, number of rounds that you need to have. Whether you can do it online, can you do it after office hours, during lunch breaks? I think these are some of the advice that I will give.
Okay.
That you can try. I don't know, like maybe we'll hear a lot more from our listeners, right?
Yeah.
In terms of what they have done.
What they have done, what are some of the good tips that they can give to somebody like Sean. So yeah, Sean, I mean, wish you all the best in your job interviews. I hope that you don't have to go through that many rounds. But, in a nutshell, don't lie, get creative. If you have to split your leave into half days and, I'm hearing this for the first time, try not to do a lunchtime interview. So yeah, let's try and avoid that. If like Sean, you have a work-related question, do send it to us. We are at CNA Podcasts at mediacorp.com.sg. We're also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Me Listen, and YouTube, where a video version of this is at.
I'm Gerald.
And I'm Tiffany. Have a good work week ahead, and I hope you have an understanding boss.